Wow, so this is how 2017 begins. Hey, remember when everyone described 2016 as a pan full of aborted fetuses? Well, at least it didn't start like this. Things are only going to go downhill as well when Vladimir Drumpf gets told treason is alright now. Well, in light of all recent revelations about this man that we all used to think was the height of decency, I'd like to throw my hat into the ring and predict a new revelation. I reckon he once fucked the corpse of a deer because he was convinced he had magic sperm. There we go. The video's dated as well, I'm calling it early. Anyway, the worst thing to happen to this year so far, Celebrity Big Brother. Fuck me, I'm going to review something widely publicised by The Sun, putting me on the same level as that satanic cross between a walnut and a scrotum that likes to shit out far-right lies for a new breed of cunts to both politically and literally come over. I wish I was dead. Actually, that's not a good idea. Then he'll definitely hack my phone. It's going to be a whole new year of I bleed for you and no one watches. Great. Hooray! A few years ago, I don't know exactly how many because I don't care, Channel 4 flushed its own toilet and the turd that circled the drain was Big Brother, the strange experiment of putting semi-humans into a place. Little did Channel 4 realise that just outside with its mouth clasped around the drain pipe was an eager Channel 5 desperate to live up to its own stereotype. The only other thing that Channel 5 has done that I've talked about was Lip Sync Battle UK, which was the worst thing I watched in 2016, which you should already know. Call yourself a fan? Yes, I am bitter about the video's lack of success. It took me a whole year to make. It's not like I'm just flitting around Channel 5's bin to find this shit. These are its headliner programmes. There's not really much to say about the actual show. Just by disgusting osmosis, I didn't need any kind of introduction to the concept. Although I would have liked a more in-depth and regular reminder on who's who. Their names do appear whenever they're on screen, which is some help. I'm assuming this is because even their biggest fans couldn't pick them out of a lineup of one. While the concept of the series seems largely unchanged, again, I don't actually care enough to research the subtle series-by-series changes. You may call that unprofessional, but I would respond, fuck off, a video I uploaded 3 months ago that I worked hard on has 3 views. How can I respect an audience that isn't there? While the broad concept is unchanged, the producers have glued tacky additions onto the obviously decaying carcass, like the returning, I don't want to say stars, the returning idols of the uneducated masses. That's a bit long. Twats, that'll do. The returning twats were told to judge on sight alone which new twat would get edited out. A phrase used by someone who'd clearly heard a clever person say it and thought they'd have a go. Sadly, it's misused, because instead of having their scenes cut, having them forcibly removed, or just plain old-fashioned murdered, edited out in this case just means sit in a chair wearing a beige jumper. But they don't have to stay sat down and they don't have to keep wearing the jumper, so what's the point? I hate this show. I hated it before I watched it, and then I had my depressing theory proved by wasting some more of my limited time. There are 2 main reasons for this completely justified hatred. On the one hand, you've got the actual contestants. I'm sure they're all perfectly pleasant people in real life, but they're clearly just there because actual prostitution is less likely to lead to a lucrative ITV2 deal, and listening to 2 of them talking to each other is like positioning your head between 2 ringing alarm clocks in an echo chamber forever. However, these are the easy targets. The problem few people bring up is the behind-the-scenes tinkering. You can't just leave people in a house to squabble because the ratings are dropping. Nothing to do with the average IQ of the country, sadly. There was no Brexit in the early 2000s. So the producers take it upon themselves to artificially create tension and speak for the audience at home. I don't want any of the behind-the-scenes staff speaking for me. They probably all start tugging themselves off whenever someone starts crying. That footage is always focused on with the creepy intensity of Max Clifford following a 5-year-old down a darkened alley. You probably already know if you want to watch this. If you're on the fence, don't do it. Consider this review the fearful shrieking of a lone survivor from a burnt-out village. If you like Big Brother, then I've just upset you, and as soon as you figure out what the strange symbols on the keyboard in front of you mean, I'm going to get a very poorly spelt complaint. And if you hate this show, thanks for watching 4 minutes of your own personal dancing chimp regurgitating your own opinions back at you. Sounds like I've successfully hyped you for the next year's videos.